And while Thorpe goes off to have a bit of a break before his next match against Mieszko Fortunski on the other table, Ouschan is straight back on to play Darren Appleton. It was a good start to the day for Appleton, but it's faded a little bit, so it's a key game for both of them. And can you believe it, Carl, after seeing Albin Ouschan last night going down to the last match just to try to salvage his place in the tournament at all, could be heading for a similar fate today.
Yeah, you touched on it earlier on, Michael, and I think you're right. I think he's let the new format and just silly things that, you know, get into his head, and now he's in a battle to regroup, refocus, and, you know, get back to the party. I mean, Niels is still here. You know, he was here on day one, and he's still fighting away and battling, so that's what Albin needs to do. So Daz was a little bit lucky there not to scratch, and then he was a little bit unlucky to, well, that's if he can't see the potting angle, of course. He's either looking to see if he can see an edge of the ball or the potting angle. I'm not so sure. Well, the potting angle. He's playing this with a bit of left spin. That'll turn the object ball over.
Darren Appleton, 45 years of age now, from Pontefract in West Yorkshire.
Yeah, has he got there? I'm not so sure. Obviously quite difficult for us to see. Another roll, he'd have been definitely on it, but he's not going to get his jump cue, is he? Or is that where he's gone now? Yes, I think he has gone for the jump cue. So, I mean, it's not a full ball hook, so this is, at this level, still an easy shot. He rushed it a little bit. Of course, we've got a shot clock, but each player gets one extension per rack.
And he's left the 2-4 combination, routine start. And this is what Ouschan needs, isn't it? I mean, he must be feeling sick at the moment. Must be wondering how on earth he ended up losing that pretty eventful match against Billy Thorpe. 3 defeats out of 3. He's had his struggles in the previous groups, but he didn't start either of them quite as badly as this.
Yeah, he's lost 5-4 to David Alcade today. He's lost 5-3 to Niels Fyan, and he's lost 5-4 to Billy Thorpe. So he's been in the matches. You know, I know he's not won a match, but he's been in there competing, so it's not all disaster. He just needs to find a win, and as we keep saying, this is an important match, because if he can beat Darren, that means him and Darren will be on the same amount of wins for the amount of matches they've played.
As we've been saying, he does seem to be showing a better attitude today. There's been 1 or 2 worrying moments, but he's getting on with it today, digging in, getting his head down, and he's really got no choice in a situation like this, because he's back on the table only a few minutes after losing his previous match in that close finish.
Yeah, I think this is just a case of you know, just the last 2 days he's just not quite cueing and hitting the cue ball as clean as he would like, and I think that's what's frustrating Albin, to be honest. Over on table 2, one man that never really shows his emotion. He's like a well-oiled machine, nicknamer the Terminator, Niels Fyan. He's having a good day. He's playing David Alcade, who is also having a good day.
Yeah, they've both played 3 and won 3. So Albin Ouschan off to a good start then, in a match that you really feel he's got to try and win. He leads Darren Appleton 1-0.
Well, this is the format that we're playing. Obviously, Albin was here on day one, and as long as he can keep surviving, he'll keep coming back. As where, you know, come day 6 and 7, some of the players who are entering the field will only get one kind of opportunity. And there we are on table 2, David Alcade. That's like a top of the table clash going on. And David only just missed out on a semi-final slot last night, only by a rack difference to Kelly Fisher.
Yeah, made a really bad start to yesterday, lost his first 2 matches, but then won his next 3 and lost to Niels Fyan. Didn't quite get the number of racks he needed, but given the start he'd made, I'd say he was happy enough to at least survive, to fight another day. And he's fighting very well so far. I've been saying this all week, it is possible mathematically to win 4 of your 6 matches and not go through to the semi-finals, but it would be a very unlikely situation, so really you would have to think whoever wins that can start thinking of the knockout stages later tonight. Albin Ouschan 1-0 up, and he's got the break.
So he's made a ball on the break. It wasn't the wing ball, it was a random ball. That's what we call it, just a random ball. When the players are breaking, they're trying to make the wing ball in the corner. Sometimes the 1 ball in the centre. Now the 8 ball is kind of over the pocket. If it was a little bit closer to the pocket, this is unmissable. And what he needs to do is make sure he hits the 8 full. If he hits the 8 full, it will go in. And there you see, it was a nice shot. Tricky shot coming up though will be the position from the blue 2 to the red 3.
Any match you lose hill is hard to get out of your mind, but particularly I think the circumstances in which Ouschan lost that match to Thorpe. He missed an absolute sitter of a 9 ball. Worst shot he's played probably all week. That would have put him 2-0 up. Considering he had 2 breaks in the first 3 racks and ran out from both of them. Well, he really should have been 3-0 in front. He might just have pulled away from there. But he could never get more than 1 in front. And in the end, Thorpe made him pay for it.
Yeah, Albin's played a real neat positional shot there. He spotted a 2-9 combo, and this is made even easier by where he's put the cue ball. If the cue ball doesn't land right behind it, it can turn into a little tricky, nasty shot. So that was really all about the positioning. Good start from Albin Ouschan.
Yeah, as I say, missed a sitter for 2-0 against Thorpe, but he was never likely to miss that combination. A must-win match for him, really. I've said that about a lot of his matches over the last few days. This is on the other table, top of the table clash, as you described it, Carl. And it's early stages here between David Alcade and Niels Fyan. And Alcade is sort of typifying what we've been saying about this format. It's all about staying in it, living to fight another day, putting your setbacks behind you, because when you play so many matches, there will be setbacks. It wasn't looking good for him round about this time yesterday, in fact. He did enough to stay in it, and here he is now, flowing a bit today. Interesting, though, we talk so much about the importance of the break in the game nowadays. Well, Albin Ouschan actually broke really well against Billy Thorpe and was running out a lot of the time, but still ended up losing. Alcade earlier today we saw against Mieszko Fortuński. He was really struggling with the break, but won comfortably. So it's not all about the break by any means. You can compensate for it with other things, and even if you are breaking well, you've got to do those other things right to see it through. David Alcade has seen the opening rack through. In this clash of unbeaten players, he leads Niels Fyan, the former world champion, 1-0.
Trailing 2-0 and we'll break.
So Darren gets the break off in rack 3. Loses the cue ball up top end of the table. Kind of stunned it back. Obviously the players are trying to park the cue ball around the centre of the table. And I think I heard Marcel say push out, so Darren's playing a push. The pink 4 is hooking Darren, so you can't see the two.
He's a big occasion player, Darren. He's won so many big titles. Became the first British winner of the US Open in 2010. Had a tough route. Beat Efren Reyes and Mika Immonen along the way to set up a final against Corey Deuel, who he had already beaten earlier to send to the one-loss side. It was a close one, but Appleton won 14-12. Was the leading money winner in the world that year, and he actually won the US Open again the following year to emulate Nick Varner and Immonen as a back-to-back winner. Shane Van Bonen has since done the same and indeed gone on to make it 3 in a row. Been World 9-ball champion, World 10-ball champion.
So Darren's pushed to the left rail. Albin's having a good look. Over the years, Darren has been involved in some big pool battles. He's very much not the type of like player where, like a Joshua Filler, where they can, you know, they kind of get on with it and play really quick off instinct. He's more that grinder type player. And that was a nice kick shot. Just kicked the 2-ball in behind the 7. One of the strongest parts of his game, the safety game, and the kick in, and
extension, please.
Never really makes too many safety errors, doesn't Darren? Very good in that department. Albin's playing this left-handed. And he's not reached the rail. So Darren will get ball in hand.
If we're talking about Darren Appleton's high-profile successes, Carl, we can't possibly neglect to mention he was part of the only England team ever to win the World Cup of Pool in partnership with you.
Yeah, that was a one-man show. I played flawless that event. No, I'm just joking. That seems like many, many moons ago when we won that. I couldn't even tell you the year, actually. Was it 2014?
Yeah, spot on.
2014.
Only you could be blasé about what year it was that you won the World Cup.
Time's going so quick, Michael. And today's going quick as well. It's 25-5, and of course Emily Fraser, Matchroom multi-sport boss, decided to bring the shot clock in. Not so much because the players are slow. It was more just a little bit of silly time wasting. Stood there thinking about what shot to play, and when there was only 1 or 2 options really. So again, we've not seen many extensions being used, so players are just not really time wasting. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's all positives. David Alcady has just pulled off a fantastic shot to clinch the 2nd rack there. On the other table, 2-0 up now in his match against Niels Fyen. Darren Appleton needs to start turning his day around. He won his first match 5-0 against Billy Thorpe. He's had 2 defeats in a row since then against Niels Fyen and Kelly Fisher. Really keen to avoid another one here, and he's off the mark. Albin Ouschan still leads, but now the gap is reduced to 2-1. More to follow.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. No worries.
He's going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8. Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Albin Ouschan.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Welcome back to a very pensive-looking Darren Appleton there, who's 2-1 down against Albin Ouschan. Things looking a bit better for him now, though, having just taken that third rack. Big match for both of them, really. Both had 3 so far. Ouschan hasn't won any. Appleton has only won 1. And the Austrian starts us off in rack 4. So a couple of balls down off the break. Not sure the one cuts into the side. It definitely goes to the far corner. But far from routine to get from there to the 3. If he can pull that shot off, though, looks like a straight run to the line for 3-1. Twice across, and that will do nicely. There's nothing wrong with his breaking in the last couple of matches. It's other things that have gone wrong for him. Carl alluded to it earlier. We spoke about his excellent Mosconi Cup record. His record in the World Cup of Pool has been amazing in recent years. The last 3 times it's been staged, partnered with Mario He for Austria every time. They've had 2 wins and a runner-up finish in between. They'll be defending champions when it's played a little later in the year, having missed out obviously on the chance to defend in 2020. Oh, can you believe that? What else is going to go wrong for Albin Ouschan today? Looked absolutely set for a break and run out there. He'd done the hard bit. What has happened to him here? On the 5.
This is just... It's actually turning out to be quite incredible. I mean, what a mistake. He's in control of the match. He's 2-1 up. He's got 3 balls.
Well, some sort of miscue anyway. And instead of 3-1, in the blink of an eye, in a passage of play which is so typical of the quick-fire nature of 9-ball pool, Darren Appleton has squared it up at 2-2.
Darren Appleton wins the work.
Let's have a look at that extraordinary shot again. Oh, he's just got that all wrong. The thing is, he'll be adding that in his own head to the list of things that prove the world's against him over the last couple of days, but no one to blame for that really but himself. Can he put it out of his mind now? It's another match that he looked to be in control of, as you said, Carl, that he's in danger now of slipping away from him. Remember, he was 2-0 in front here.
Yeah, it's quite unbelievable to see, really, you know. Obviously, I've worked alongside Albin in the Mosconi Cup, and we've seen how good his temperament can be, and we're sort of seeing the other side of it, aren't we, these last 2 days? And it's hard to see how this could be turned around. I'm just trying to think, obviously, if he does end up surviving today, he's got to come back tomorrow, start again. It'll be day 4. You know, and it's long matches, playing tough players, match after match, all day.
Just suppose we'd seen this from him in the Mosconi Cup in Coventry last December, Carl. I mean, it would have been the responsibility of you and Alex Laley, really, to try and sort it out. What might you have said to him?
Might have said, pack your bag and get yourself back to Austria.
Danger is he might have taken you up on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's unusual in the Mosconi where you would see this type of behaviour. Obviously, such a big event, and of course, it's a team event. That week alone, it's about, you know, your fellow players and captains. Really, it's not really about yourself. So you don't really see this type of behaviour, unless Earl the Pearl Strickland's on the team, of course.
I won't ask you what you'd try to say to turn him around. Oh, he's done the same thing.
Am I seeing things here, or what? Is this a joke? What is going on? Is there something in the air in Milton Keynes? It's miscue after miscue.
It's our fault. We've been spending most of the match talking about all the world titles and various other accolades they've won over the years, trying to make us look foolish with these shots. That's incredible to see that. I don't think we've seen miscues like that from anyone throughout the week, and here we've seen it in consecutive racks.
Yeah, this is bizarre. And on table 2 earlier on today, obviously we didn't see it on table 1. Darren Appleton was trying to draw the cue ball back, just 3 balls on the table. I think it was against Niels, and he scooped the cue ball up in the air and it went straight in the pocket. So this is unbelievable. You know what, Michael? When you do cue it and miscue, it kind of just scares you a little bit moving forward, especially if you've got a shot where you're playing a draw shot.
He's obviously not played a lot of tournament pool recently. Do you think the fact he's played a couple of shots like that today, and don't forget this is his first day of being involved in it, might be some sort of reflection of rustiness?
Well, I mean, I suppose we've got to make a case for something, but you know, if you look at the likes of Chris Mellin, the way he plays, you know, it's well documented. He plays some English 8-ball, he plays a little bit of 9-ball. He told us in the interview that, you know, he's got himself a job because he was feeling a bit down. He just gets on the table and, you know, sights the ball and pots it. I just think, you know, Albin and, you know, this type of player where it might not come as natural, they kind of beat themselves up a little bit, don't they, when it's not going perfect as well. If you look at someone like Chris and Joshua and Jason Shaw and even Fortunski, they just have that natural potter's eye and they just kind of get on with it. They forget about the silly mistakes, and, you know, the two guys at the table, they don't really forget about them type of mistakes. They let it eat away at them.
Yeah, and there's no future in thinking like that, but there may yet be a future for Albin Ouschan in this Group 3 of the Predator Championship League in Milton Keynes. Having been pegged back from 2-0 to 2-2, he's regained the lead, now 3-2 in front. What a day David Arcadi's having. He's playing Niels Fyan on the other table. They both go into that in really good shape after winning their first 3 matches. And Arcadi is 3-0 to the good. Here it is. As we've been saying, 4 wins, pretty much certain to get you through to the group semi-finals. And what a great position that would be for Arcadi to be in if he could have his place clinched. 2 matches still to play. He can almost use those as practice and shaking off the cobwebs after all the inactivity. I travelled here from the airport with him on Sunday, and he was telling me it was the first time he'd travelled outside of Spain for a year. It's been the story for so many players. Some were involved in the Mosconi Cup, but for others it's been a long period of almost total inactivity, and given how global the spread of tournaments big and small is these days, it's a very unfamiliar position. So they're just delighted to get every match they can at the moment, and if they're winning them and playing the way David Arcadi is, so much the better. It's fine at the table at the moment, of course. Don't forget he's still going to be in good shape in this group, whatever the outcome of this match.
It's leading 3-2.
Neither of these players in particularly good shape in the group at the moment, but there's time to change that, and Ouschan has the upper hand as he breaks off in the 6th.
Yeah, it was a good break off. 7 ball might come and spoil the party though. Yeah, obviously with the overhead camera, it's hard to see if that 1 ball will pass and go in the side. Good break though. I'm sure his body language will tell us if this ball passes. Now the red 3 is the next ball after the yellow one, so it is over on the same side. Yeah, so I think the ball does pass the brown 7. Over on table 2, Niels Fyan gets his first rack of that match. And then you see Albin just played it off the edge of the 7, so that was fine. No real dramas there, and this is a good chance to get on the hill, but from what we've seen, I'm saying nothing.
Now that is something we'll never see. From Ouschan's point of view, if he can go on to win this match, and he's got to be favourite for it now, he's got to win on the board, and then he'll have a gap of probably about 45 minutes or so before he plays back-to-back matches to finish off the round-robin section against Kelly Fisher and Mieszko Fortunski. So he could be in a much better frame of mind mentally by the time those 2 matches come around. Not if he loses this one, though.
Yeah, that's worked out really good, that positional shot. He didn't want to land straight on this purple 5, and the 8 ball was in a bit of a tricky position, and that little bump has worked out lovely. that didn't go in clean. That's why he's still down on the cue. He cued across that and it went off the right hand jaw. And watch this 6 ball here. Flicks the jaw and goes in, so he's still nappy. I just think this is down to he's just not cueing through the ball as clean as he likes, and that is what is frustrating him.
Well, this is job done for this rack now. He won the first 2, lost the next 2. Albin Ouschan has responded though by winning 2 in a row once again, so he leads 4-2. He's on the hill, but still hope for Appleton. He'll be breaking when we come back.
What a shot by Albin Ouschan.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
Sporting events should not be held until there are no new cases.
Well, that's right up there with me. No crowd, but who needs them?
Just in terms of pure potting ability, he's just one of the best we've ever seen.
Oh my word. Incredible.
What a power-packed partnership it is. Start the engraving process.
Welcome back to Milton Keynes, where Albin Ouschan's long quest for his first win in Group 3 of the Predator Championship League may just be about to come to an end. He's lost all 3 so far, but he's on the hill here. He's leading Darren Appleton of England by 4 racks to 2, and the Yorkshireman is up against it now, but he does have the break in rack 7.
Yeah, that looks a good break from Darren. Very solid hit. Needs the cue ball to bounce if it sits on the bottom rail. And it has sat on the bottom rail, so that's going to make things a lot difficult for Darren. Yeah, sometimes you do see players, they can play this rail first with extreme right spin. So after the cue ball hits the rail, it flicks the 2 and pots it. There you see the wonderful safety play from Darren. without doubt the strongest part of his game.
You can understand him deciding the risk wasn't worth it, because if he missed that very high chance of leaving it, and that really could have been the end of that for him in this match. As you say, he has such a strong tactical game, why not rely on it?
Now Albin's guaranteed to hit this 2-ball off 2 rails, and if he hits it full, it's going over to the right side of the table, so it could go in the side, it could go in the top. He needs this to slow down. That little flick on the 6 has helped him.
Over on the other table, David O'Cady is on the hill. He's 4-1 up against Niels Feijen, looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. Nobody's won 6 out of 6 yet, neither of the previous groups. I imagine that's going to be a pretty rare achievement over the course of the week. But if O'Cady wins that, he'll be 2 matches away from completing the feat.
Yeah, so Darren couldn't really do much there other than leave distance, using the 6 as a stopper for the 2-ball and just get the cue ball back round table. So Albin, do you play safe over towards the red 3, or do you fire at the bank shot? Do you even play the 2 onto the 9 and screw the cue ball over to the 6? Yeah, that's what he's tried. He needs to hit something now because the 2-ball's moving. So the containing safety shot from Dynamite Darren Appleton has paid off, and he's going to have a look in this rack. And he's missed that by a mile. Well, I say a mile, that's a slight exaggeration. He hit the jaw.
A metaphorical mile in pool terms.
Yeah, it wasn't smooth, was it? That replay shows you. It was very jabby. And he lost the cue ball a lot, didn't he? You can see he wasn't even on the 3. And Albin's got a tricky shot, and he's not really favourite to make this the way the match has gone.
Oh, but now that he has, he's landed very sweet on the 3-6 combination.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, Carl, go ahead.
I was getting a bit ahead of myself there. I was going to say, from the way he's been playing, that was a well played shot from Albin.
Could end up finishing the match with a 5-9 combination.
Yeah, that was also a pretty good shot. He forced the ball over to this side of the table to give himself a shot.
Could be all over here in a few moments, and it is all over on the other table. David O'Cady has beaten Niels Feijen by 5 racks to 1. That ends Feijen's 100% start, but still well placed with 3 wins from 4. O'Cady, though, even better placed, 4 wins from 4, and surely bound for the semi-finals.
So as you said, Michael, this 5-9 combo for the match and Albin's first win of the day, and this will put him on the same amount of wins out of the same amount of matches as his opponent.
It's been a long time coming, But Albin Ouschan has finally got his first win in Group 3. It was much needed. He'd lost all 3 prior to that. He's beaten Darren Appleton by 5 racks to 2. And for him now, it's a break of almost an hour before he returns for back-to-back matches against Kelly Fisher and Mieszko Fortunski as he looks to turn around his fortunes here and maybe give himself some hope in Group 3 of the Predator Championship League. That then concludes the afternoon session. Thanks for joining us, and we will be back in just under an hour from now. David Al-Kaidi against Darren Appleton will be the first match of the evening session here in Milton Keynes.